Minutemen, back in again with another video today. Today we're going to be talking about the stuff you need when you start reenacting, and then over there the stuff that you can get more into once you're more used to reenacting, like maybe about a year in or so. Alright, so we'll start off with hats. Probably one of the most important things you need to start off with. So these two are some examples. This would be more of a military sort of bicorn shape with white trim and a cockade right there by J.S. Townsend. And this is a more cheap, not so good style of the just regular hat from J.S. Townsend, more like a civilian hat. And the hat I'm wearing is actually a homemade hat, which you could sort of get into when more reenacting, or unless you're creative or something like that. Basically all you need is sort of like a beach hat or a hat blank, and you put the sides together and you stitch them and you make it how you want to look, and then you put your cockade in right here. So next we have a hunting frock, basically just a hunting shirt, or you can just get some sort of jacket or coat. Next thing, haversack. You don't necessarily need these things, but I'd recommend getting these right away. You can hold stuff in it, like I said in the last video. Then once again, the cartridge box, which the holes in it, 24 holes, 24 rounds. Then the canteen for drinking out of, which you definitely need unless you want to die. Then for more winter time or fall, whatever, for fall events or wintertime events, these historically accurate fingerless gloves, they just go on your hand like so. And they did actually use these. I don't know why they didn't have fingers on them, but that would be a lot better for us nowadays. Next thing, a cup or a mug or something like that to hold your drinks in when, like, around the campfire or something, so you don't have to waste your canteen. The next, we have 4 different types of plates you can get. Small, wooden. A medium wooden plate. A steel plate or metal plate. Finally, a really large one if you're going to have, like, a big meal. I'd recommend just getting the large one, or just getting a set with, like, 3, like these ones. Or just, if you want to be more accurate, just get one plate, get a large one, because you never know how much food you're going to get. And next, if in case you are going to be a drummer, what you need is, first of all, a drum, like this, and drumsticks. Also, you will need a drum strap, but I do not currently have it here with me right now. So basically, yeah. So that's if you're going to be a drummer. Then the other instrument, if you're going to be a fifer, you're going to need a fife. But I'm not a fifer, so don't ask me to play this. Then, if you are going to be a regular soldier, you'll need a flintlock musket, which go flintlock. Flint is the lock, steel, strikes steel, yada yada yada. Bullet goes shooty out of the gun. And I got a strap on here and a hammer stall. Hammer stall keeps it dry, or at least still dry in the pan. And the sling is easy. If I'm walking around for a long time, I can easily just sling it on there, and it's good for about an hour or so before it starts hurting. Or if you're not sure if you want that heavy, you can also go smaller with a trade musket or a Charleville. This is a good representation of a trade musket from about the French and Indian War that you take to war, or hunting, something, I don't know. As you can tell, it has a nice finger grip, so it'll be good for beginners. And it's nice and small, lightweight, feels good in your shoulder. Then, if you are going to be an infantryman or a militia or a red coat soldier or something like that, you're going to need some musket tools. So first, what you got right here is some tools for cleaning out your musket, like a little pick like this, tool for that, like the screws, for example, right here. If this is loose, you tighten it up with this right here. And also, if your flint or steel is out of a little bit off, you just give it a little hit with this, and that should do the trick. Or if you are portraying a British soldier, you might want one of these, more professional, or Continental Army, which is a professional brush. So what happens is it clips on right about here. You have your brush, and you have cleaning gunpowder right there. And so now we will move on to the clothing you might need. So first off, button there, you're gonna need a waistcoat or a vest or a waistcoat, whatever you want to call it. You're gonna need a shirt, and you're gonna need breeches, or if you want, take a step further, trousers, which will follow up in a minute, socks, gaiters, and shoes. So trousers are basically breeches that go all the way down here, and they have the gaiter attachment, but it's all in one, and those mostly come in white. And of course, you're going to need the hat, cocked hat, bicorn, tricorn, whatever you want to call it. So now we're going to move on to the more mature stuff you're going to need when you get used to reenacting a little bit more. So this, I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting this, but I mean, you can if you want to, a powder horn. I know in this state it's illegal to use powder horns for battle reenactments, but I don't know where you're watching from, so it might be legal in your state. A knapsack, which is basically to hold some stuff in. Like this, it has 3 buttons, and it's held like a backpack, as I got into last video, like that. And also something just like that is called a snapsack. And a snapsack, it's called a snapsack because basically you just put stuff in here, tighten it, goes right in your shoulder, or I'll take my hat off for this. That's why it's called a snapsack. And next, you could use this as a starter or not. I used this when I was a starter. I'm just going to put it here for now. It's a neck stock. So basically what a neck stock does is you put up your shirt collar and you put the neck stock like so, and you tie it in the back, and it looks quite nice when you put it on. I know every single British regiment uses these, and some regiments in the Continental Army do it, but not all of them. And so then we have tomahawks and tomahawk sheath. So tomahawk sheath, I recommend getting. I don't currently have it at this moment. This is my friend's. So tomahawk sheath, really keep it safe when it's on your belt. Another thing you might want to consider getting, because it keeps it really safe. So the 2 types of tomahawks you can get are small and large. See the difference between those two? So this one is actually mine, this one's my friend's. We just have 2 differences. So this one is mostly meant for throwing, because most of the weight is up here, so when you throw it, it turns really nicely like that. And this one is basically meant, if you've ever seen The Patriot, to what I call Mel Gibson somebody, which is basically hacking at somebody until they die. Yes, I won't get into the graphics. So, Bell, as I said, then one of my favorite things to get is the flintlock pistol, because it's just so nice. And if you're actually portraying a dragoon, then you definitely need this to start off with, and you'd also need a saber. I do not have that right now. So basically, same thing as a flintlock musket, just smaller, and it's a pistol, which is great. They're really fun to have and fun to shoot. Then a bayonet. If you're a British soldier, you probably need this first, but since we're portraying militia, you don't necessarily need this bayonet. It's about 1 foot long, a little bit longer actually. Goes right in here with your bayonet sheath, which is also another thing. You might have to get them separately. I got mine separately, and also the strap separately too. So, next thing, definitely, or I think it's, personally I think it's fun, but you don't need it, is ink, feather, water, this, and paper and envelopes. Is this when you can basically keep a log with the paper, and when you're all done, you can put it in the envelope, and keep track. Like, let's say last weekend I was at Monmouth, so if I had this at Monmouth, I'd keep it on this tray, and I could write what happened the day. I could write the date, so maybe when I'm a little bit older, I could look at that and say, that was pretty fun. So basically, the water, you could use this. I don't know why I have it in my writing kit right now, but so what you do, I usually keep my feather pen on here, and when I'm ready to write, I take this off, I dip my pen in there, then I put a little, well, never mind, I dip it in here, maybe dab a little bit off here, then I write. When I'm out, yeah, you probably know how to do that. So when I'm done, what I do, I put it, this would normally be full of water, put it in here, tap it on the side, and I put it on here to dry, so next time I'm ready to use it. And so that basically wraps up the video. So, this is your Man. See you guys next video.